We should rephrase the psalm for today and say the following: taste and experience the wisdom of the Lord. Our first reading portrays wisdom as a woman. She's inviting others to come to her table and to eat what wisdom has prepared. They should drink of the fruit of the vine in order to gain understanding of God's ways. In the book of Proverbs, wisdom is often anthropomorphized as a woman. In Greek, this means to make in the likeness of a human being. Wisdom invites people to a banquet at which she will give her very savory foods, which simply means if one comes to wisdom's table, one will receive an understanding that goes far beyond what one expects. One condition of receiving wisdom's nourishing food and drink: one must be willing to forsake one's old and foolish ways. Now, the psalm this morning promises radiant joy and a life free from all distress. All that is needed is to come to the Lord and receive God's goodness. If we enjoy the great things that the Lord bestows, then the response should be to give glory and praise to God. In our second reading, Paul urges the Ephesians to live lives with the wisdom and understanding of God. He tells them the ways of the world are foolishness in God's eyes. And now, finally, turning to our gospel, Jesus realizes that some have missed the point. They are thinking that he is describing cannibalism. Jesus wants people to come to him and to be fed on him in order to receive real understanding and real wisdom. Jesus promises to give his very body and blood to those who will accept him. We understand this as his transforming bread and wine into his own body and blood in the light of what Jesus did on the Last Supper. Jesus is our spiritual food for our journey to the house of his Father. Jesus nourishes us in many ways. First, through his word that is food for our thought. Through his ministry that is healing food for our bodies. Through his sacramental presence that is in our spiritual food. And through our communion, our union with him and with all those in communion with him. In other words, the community of believers who comes to the Lord's table. Within the Catholic tradition, the communal celebration of the Eucharist is the physical reception of the body and blood of Christ through the sacramental elements of bread and wine. The wisdom of the Church has explained this mystery by using the word transubstantiation. The bread and wine are transformed into Jesus' very body and blood, while the appearance still looks like the bread and wine. That is why we have a tabernacle. After we distribute the communion and there's communion left, because we've consecrated too many hosts, we don't throw them away. That is Jesus. And we place him in the tabernacle. By receiving Jesus, we are given a better understanding of who Jesus is and what his role is in the process of salvation. We are being united with Jesus, and through Jesus, to his Father. We are nourished with what we need to continue our journey to the home prepared for us in heaven. When people turn away from Jesus, after he tells them to eat his body and to drink his blood, that he does not call them back. He lets them leave because they do not have the wisdom to accept his teaching. He emphatically says that his flesh is true food and his blood is true drink. God the Father wants to give us the very best. Jesus. Jesus is truly the best food. We need only to come to him and take what he offers, his very being.